You will recall in November 2021, when it was reported that the FDA had asked a federal judge to grant them until at least the year 2076 to release all Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine approval data. Well, it has been revealed by Aaron Siri, the managing partner of Siri and Glimstart, that in a recent FDA briefings, that they doubled down and has now asked to have until at least 2096 to produce the Pfizer approval documents. That is a total of at least 75 years, not the 55 years as they earlier requested. It is important to note that it took the FDA just 108 days to review the 451,000-page document and license the product so that Pfizer could freely sell it to the public. On behalf of public health and medical professionals for transparency, Aaron Siri firm, in a Freedom of Information request, has asked that this information be disclosed in 108 days, the same amount of time it took for the FDA to review the 451,000-page document and license Pfizer's vaccine. Of the approximately 451,000 pages of documents they have to produce, the FDA wants to commit to providing 500 pages per month, taking them 75 years to provide the entire 451,000 pages. The FDA agrees it should provide these materials. But, instead, it wants to do it so slowly that practically all scientists, lawyers, and most people who took Pfizer's product may have been dead before the documents are released. The FDA complains it lacks resources. However, given the amount of taxpayer money spent on the COVID-19 response, the FDA cannot now allege a lack of funds to undertake its review. Since the FDA initial request for 55 years to release Pfizer approval documents, many people have raised their voices in support of the immediate release of these documents. A U.S. Republican congressman, Ralph Norman, has recently introduced a legislation that would force the FDA to release all records of information submitted to the agency about the emergency use authorization, or licensing of all Pfizer COVID-19 vaccines within 100 days. In a statement, Norman said, "The FDA's only priority should be the health and safety of consumers. The agency has compromised its integrity by delaying information that belongs to the public. Since the Biden administration is hell-bent on forcing these vaccine mandates on us, the public has every right to know how this vaccine was approved, especially in such a short amount of time. After all, the FDA managed to consider all 329,000 pages of data, and grant emergency approval of the Pfizer vaccine within just 108 days. So it's hard to rationalize why it now needs 55 years to fully release that information to the public." Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Chairman and Chief Legal Counsel of Children's Health Defense, said Dr. Anthony Fauci promised total transparency to the American people. "Hiding the data for 55 years is the opposite of transparency," Kennedy said. "It's no wonder Americans no longer trust these vaccines or the governmental agencies that regulate them. Even President Joe Biden, when he was a presidential candidate, called for transparency, and told the American people that, 'You've got to make all of it available to other experts across the nation so they can look and see, so there's a consensus this is a safe vaccine.'" Dr. Fauci also guaranteed the American people transparency, and reject any forms of political pressure. The NIH director, Dr. Collins, stressed that the safety and effectiveness of the vaccine will not be compromised. The FDA chief, Dr. Hahn, also assured the American people of the efficacy and safety of the vaccines.
How are you going to distribute the vaccine when it arrives? And the question of whether it's real when it's there, that requires enormous transparency. You got to make all of it available to other experts across the nation so they can look and see. So there's consensus this is a safe vaccine.
There are no corners being cut, John. I'll guarantee you that. Safety is very important. There is no political pressure that I've seen at all to move quickly.
The safety and the effectiveness will not be compromised.
We will do our job to assess the safety and the efficacy of a vaccine candidate. I want to assure the American people of that.
The FDA release of these documents to the public is crucial because millions of people worldwide are being mandated to be injected with a liability-free vaccine or lose their livelihood. In some countries, people are threatened with fines or jail terms if they refuse these vaccines. As a result, complete transparency throughout the review and licensing process is vital for countering real or perceived politicization, and for fostering public trust in any licensed vaccine. FDA continuous attempts to hide these documents from the public continues to create an atmosphere of distrust in the product they licensed. It is imperative that completely independent scientists, and researchers from universities around the world, including medical centers, be given access to review this data to improve people's confidence in these vaccines. Establishing the credibility of these vaccines will no doubt increase vaccination uptake. Please leave your comments below on what you think. Also, please like or dislike the video, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and be notified when we post new videos. Thank you.